Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a really great segment. We're actually almost at 120,000. We really are at almost 120,000. We're over 119,000. And we might even get to 122, 123,000 before November 6th. That would be fantastic. There's so much. It's all coming together. It is all coming together, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that we've been saying for 2 years, everything that I've been telling you, everything that we've been saying. And to my super chat, thank you so very much. Look, it is all happening. It is all taking place, from the security clearance being pulled to the fact that the GOP will keep control of the House. Do not listen to CNN. Do not listen to 538. Do not listen to The Economist. Do not listen to all the polling experts. Do not listen to the media. Do not listen to the Democratic Party. They are not going to get the House, and they are going to implode. They are going to implode in just a cataclysmic, monumental, epic implosion of anger and misery and frustration and blame and hatred. Basically, their usual every day. This is what they do every day. Scotland in the house. David, thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Look, you are talking about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton are the biggest hypocrites. The Democrats are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. It's not about this dumb, stupid word you hear from people on the left. Whataboutism? No, dummy. Whataboutism is called hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. It means that you condemn. See, the left exists to condemn. The Democratic Party exists to condemn. They only want to tell you how horrible you are and how great they are. How horrible you are and how great they are. How racist Trump is. Hey, wait a second. Hillary Clinton called black youth super predators. No. That's whataboutism. Wait, Hillary Clinton used a 3 a.m. ad that actually got racist white Democrat Southern votes in the South. What? No. That was in 2008, and that already happened. And don't bring up the past. And that's whataboutism. Hillary Clinton called Mahatma Gandhi a gas station attendant. Look it up. It's in the New York Times. The clip's on YouTube. Oh my God! But Trump is the monster. You're engaging in whataboutism when you say what about Hillary Clinton. You're trying to also say that. Well, Trump is better in some way. No, Trump is not even anywhere near the racism and the sexism and everything else and the criminal behavior. Not that Trump is better. He's not. He's light years from all the criminality that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. I mean, you're talking about the weapons deal scandal, which relates to everything we're hearing today. I'm not even going to get into it because of the YouTube policies. We're gonna, the weapons deal scandal, the uranium one, Boeing, UBS, the constant funneling of money into the Clinton Foundation, and the constant beneficial outcome for people who funneled the money. Oh, it's just a coinky-dink. 10, 15 times Vox and CNN will say it's a coincidence before the New York Times says, oh yeah, cash flow to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. Oops. Yellow cake uranium was shipped out of the country. Oops. Hillary Clinton said nothing. Oops. And she used an unencrypted server and she transferred information from Cybernet, JWICS, and SCIF's top secret intelligence, special access program intelligence. Oops. And then what do you have? You have James Comey saying she didn't mean to do it. In your face, overt cover-up. And everything is a euphemism. Everything is like the Democratic Party took a women's studies course at UC Berkeley and said, this is what we need to actually, this is the foundation, the pillar of our political movement. And to heck with Republican women. To heck with women who are religious. It's only a certain type of mindset that women can have, that minorities can have. Look what they're doing to Kanye West. If they do it to Kanye West, they can do it to you. They can do it to me. They can do it to anyone. Jim Brown was there, by the way, and nobody would even dare talk about Jim Brown. They know better than to try to insult Jim Brown, the great Jim Brown. They know better than that. So what happens? Don Lemon and Jimmy Kimmel and everyone descend upon Kanye as if Kanye wasn't a million times more powerful, influential, famous, rich, wealthy than they are. Late night comedy, Hollywood, the left is imploding. What it used to stand for, free speech, real anti-war, not just hating Israel, not just certain things, and like bringing our soldiers home. That there is no more left like that. That doesn't exist anymore. So now you have Hillary Clinton saying, well, Bill Clinton was different. It's really all about Kavanaugh. It's really all about Kavanaugh. Even though there's no location, no nothing. But here, let's listen to Hillary Clinton.
What role, if any, did you play in criticizing the character of the women who have accused Bill of sexual misconduct?
None.
No role at all. And she's looking at the interviewer at CBS. This is a CBS News clip. And she's looking with that same look of boredom. Like, do I have to play this game again? Because I know about 30 to 40 million people will believe me no matter what I say, and then say that Trump is this liar, while at the same time ignoring my lies and the fact that the New York Times even stated it's a good thing that she has a public and private face. These are the same people who talk about a post-truth moment. The same people who talk about a post-truth moment had no problem with grandiose lies. They'll even say that Trump telling people this is the best economy ever is a lie. One of his thousands of lies. Meanwhile, the hyperbole, that's not even, this is a great economy. So whether it's the best economy, that's not necessarily really a lie. But yoga, golf, Brexit, and grandchildren, Loretta Lynch with Bill Clinton. I only deleted yoga emails. I never sent or received anything marked classified. These are lies directly related to national security. But let's continue.
No. I take responsibility for my life and my actions.
She also stood by his side as he was impeached after lying about his affair with a White House intern. Some today have said he should have stepped down. In retrospect, do you think Bill should have resigned in the wake of the Monica Lewinsky scandal?
Absolutely not.
It wasn't an abuse of power?
No.
There are people who look at the incidents of the 90s and they say a president of the United States cannot have a consensual relationship with an intern. The power imbalance is too great.
Who was an adult. But let me ask.
An intern who was an adult. Now, I don't believe in that kind of thing. Of course, you can have a consensual relationship with an adult. That whole thing, it's like that's actually, that's feminism that's actually hurting. That's actually saying that the woman doesn't have the intelligence or the emotional stability to say, hey, I'm going to make a conscious decision to engage in sexual activity with a married president. So Monica Lewinsky knew exactly what she was doing. She didn't care. There's men and women who know exactly what they're doing. They don't care in consensual relationships. So that's a little bit bizarre. But there was a power imbalance there. And Kristen Gillibrand, I think, stated recently, oh, yeah, he should have resigned. But she's only doing that to just gain some credibility among the hardcore feminist voters, like the Operation Estrogen Fury. That's Kristen Gillibrand's. That's her voting base. The elevator hoppers, they're going to vote for Kristen Gillibrand if she runs. So, it's um I gotta just continue with the interview, but here's some more of her lovely voice, Hillary Clinton.
Ask you this. Where's the investigation of the current incumbent, against whom numerous allegations have been made?
Allegations have been made, but we know what happened in the Oval Office now, don't we, Madam Cyberhack? We know what happened in the Oval Office. We know that 9 times. And you have people on the left. I mean, there's so like radio, talk show, late night. These people, if they were ever given a serious debate, would lose the debate. I could debate any of these people on the left and easily dismantle them. You could as well. They're never given the reality of who Trump is. Record low black unemployment, Latino unemployment. Oh, it started under Obama. How is that a rebuttal? That is not a rebuttal. It started under Obama. How do you know it would continue under Clinton? It's continuing under Trump. I thought he was actively going to hurt people because of he's an enabler and a supremacist. I thought that was the logical connection to his words that enable people. That's another thing. Whenever you hear, oh, well, Trump has enabled people, they must never have lived any life before 2016. They must never have experienced any negative thing anywhere. Because it wasn't, U.S. history is not, it wasn't just, a bunch of roses and wonderful, peace and, happiness forever. We had hate in this country before Trump. We'll have hate after Trump. Every country has hate. It's like the narrative. This is why they will lose. One of the reasons their stupid narratives are not even. They think they're the intellectuals. They're not only pseudo intellectuals. They're not even intelligent enough to be pseudo intellectuals. It's so stupid and illogical and irrational that it's easily defeated. Their logic is so easily defeated. It doesn't take like a genius. It doesn't take Einstein to say, gosh, there was no time and location and there are no witnesses with Kavanaugh. So how on earth could you have an FBI investigation? Well, we're going to interview people who said that he drank. What does that even mean? So she engages in the same whataboutism, but it's not even hypocrisy, though. This is completely, you're talking about apples and oranges. Well, what about Trump? The Yahtzee. Thanks for the vitamin injection, HA. The Yahtzee, thank you. Thank you so much. The Yahtzee. The Yahtzee, thank you. Everything, they are tethered. They are linked to, there's this ball and chain called Bill and Hillary Clinton. The Democratic Party is sinking, and the Democratic Party is on a ship that already hit the iceberg. It's just taking on water now, and they don't realize it. And they think, they look at the polls. Well, look at these polls. Look at these polls. Democrats are poised to do really well. No, they're not. The GOP will keep the House and Senate. I wrote a Daily Caller article on this, and I was on RT's Crosstalk on television explaining this. And one of the reasons will be they are so utterly stupid. They have convinced themselves that it's business as usual. They have convinced themselves that this is just like, history. Look at the historical trends. The historical trends are thrown out the window when you have Trump as president who's presiding over a tremendous economy, a good foreign policy, and Republican women love him. I don't care what his approval rating is throughout the country. That is completely irrelevant to Trump. It is completely and utterly irrelevant to Trump. It's has nothing to do with Trump. Now, it could have had something to do with Obama or Reagan or Jimmy Carter or whatever, Gerald Ford or whatever, or Nixon. It has nothing to do with Trump. Well, look at his approval rating. 60% of Americans had an unfavorable view of Trump on November 7th, 2016. What do you think happened November 8th? Liberals lost their minds. He won the presidency. He doesn't have to be liked. You think Trump cares if you like him? He doesn't care. He's going to win no matter what. Democrats lose, lose, lose no matter what. You know that song? They lose, lose, lose no matter what. It's supposed to be win-win. Trump wins no matter what. Oh, but he's so boorish. Oh, he's so bad. Do you think Hillary Clinton is Miss America in terms of personality? She makes Satan cringe. He doesn't care if you like him. He doesn't even care if American women like him. He cares if Republican women like him. Do Republican women like him? They love him. Do Republican women believe Kavanaugh? They do. Do Republican women find it great that Pastor Brunson is here and gave Trump a benediction, a prayer? Yeah, they do. Do you think Trevor Noah or Jimmy Kimmel or Seth Meyer or any of the New York Times writers, do you think they control the pulse of what takes place in between New York and LA? No. In between New York and LA is primarily Trump country. New York and LA, you can't wear a Trump hat. But in between New York and LA, you can wear a Trump hat generally. The country is more than just supremacists and enablers, and we took this women's studies course at UC Berkeley in 1998, and we're going to tailor everything from that. Sorry, not going to work like that. Doesn't work like that, does it now? You keep losing. Why do you think that is? Maybe because your theories are stupid. Maybe because your mentality is dumb. Forget about this. Today I was watching Face the Nation, and a very, not a, liberal wacko, a very respected journalist. She was like, well, I just think that, other countries are now looking at what Trump's called the oppress the enemy. Yeah. How many fake news stories have been reported by CNN and the Washington Post? Oh, the Russians hacked our electric grid. Wrong. Fake news. Oh, Trump Jr. got WikiLeaks emails before everyone else. Wrong. Fake news. Oh, well, someone said that he called another country a poop hole. And they roll with it as if it definitely happened. Someone said that he passed on classified intelligence to the Russians, Trump, in a meeting. Well, everything he says is classified in a meeting, dummy. How do you know? How would that unknown person, how many unknown sources? Well, we know without James Comey stated the top secret and special access program intelligence was put on Hillary Clinton's server illegally. Transferred illegal outside the United States government, and it was hacked by China. We know that from Louis Gohmert and Security and Inspector General Chuck McAuliffe of the intelligence community. I'm not the only one here, and you're not the only one here who sees things for what they are. You're talking about a cult. You're talking about people who will say that women should be spelled WOMXN. What kind of English is that? What the kind of English is that? Who says what course do you take? WOMXN. Did you misspell? Did you have spell check messed up? Were you typing on your phone? No. That's actually the new spelling, don't you know? Why? Well, it has the word men or man in it, and we can't have woman with a man in it, because then that would be whoa man. And then it would be whoa man. What? Are you crazy? Are you an insane person? No, I'm a Democrat. Rose Courts, H.A. Goodman on Flyer, Vote MAGA. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose. But they don't get it. Oh, did you see that? The witches tried to hex Trump, and then the pastor came and blessed him. And then, totally, it's like the spiritual, war. Like, the witches were, hexing Trump, and they're like, ooh, or like Kavanaugh, And then like the pastor is like, and the Jesus. And then it's like the witch's hex was like completely, you know, overwhelmed. It's gone nuts. We're now going into like, you know, ethereal planes and stuff. All because they can't realize, they can't see what they are tied. If this is a spiritual war, believe me, anyone opposite of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton will win. So you don't even have to be like of a certain religion, you know, anyone opposite, anyone. You could be like, you know, snorting meth, you know, in an alley someplace. You will win that spiritual war. If you are the opposite, if you're like, yeah, Hillary is really bad. You're actually on the winning side. Anyone who is not on Bill and Hillary Clinton's side will win that spiritual war. Not saying that you should obviously take meth because there's too many. I mean, meth will kill you. So, obviously, there's too many meth heads in LA. I'll tell you right now. There's too many. I went to a CVS last night at night. You know, late at night after I did my the HA After Dark, and then I went, and again, some shady characters. I'm telling you, I went to the guy, you know, nice guy, he works there. I'm like, how many crazies did you? He's like, every day. Any crazies today? I lost count. And I was like, and I saw one dude who was like, looked really scary on my way to my car, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw this bottle at him if he like, you know, jumps me or something, because I'm holding stuff. But it's like, you know, it's like they don't, the left doesn't get, like, they don't understand that you can't have a Me Too movement if Hillary and Bill Clinton are still in the limelight and still running the show and still campaigning for Andrew Gillum, who will lose to DeSantis because Hillary Clinton is campaigning for him. You can't. Beto O'Rourke. Oh my gosh, Beto O'Rourke. What have you done? You have not. For the left to win, you need Beto O'Rourke to to actually get gun owners to vote for him in Texas, to actually get conservatives to vote for him in Texas. That's the only way to win. Democrats are too stupid. They're like, well, we're going to double down on this that we don't even believe in. You think they believe in Medicare for all? No, they don't. I was saying they don't believe in Medicare for all. They don't believe in any of the things they say. They don't believe in any of the things they say. They're using it because they have not. The only thing that they stand for is Bill and Hillary Clinton, because Bill and Hillary Clinton controls the Democratic Party. They purchased their own FISA warrant. They purchased their own Russian hacking myth. They purchased their own the FISA, the Steele dossier they purchased, published by BuzzFeed. Now BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. You probably shouldn't have gotten in bed with the devil, BuzzFeed, because that's what happens. Now you have to sue the DNC. It's a bunch of nonsense. The Steele dossier says that George Papadopoulos, Carter Page, Paul Manafort, and who else? And Michael Cohen all worked with Russian intelligence to help Trump win the election. That is, those the rantings of a madman. Probably Bill Clinton wrote it. And it's like, they just don't see the hypocrisy. They don't see how, like, everyone looks at Clinton like, you are the Democratic Party. Everyone on the left that thinks that Clinton is no longer a part of the Democratic Party is playing themselves or just ignorant. She is campaigning in 2018 for a Bernie Sanders-backed candidate. If that is not front and center and the epicenter of Democratic politics, I don't know what is.
If any, did you play in assault? What role, if any, did you play in criticizing the character of the women who have accused Bill of sexual misconduct?
None.
No.
None. Ask Juanita Broderick about that. Ask Paula Jones about that. Ask Monica Lewinsky about that. She played a big role.
No. I take responsibility for my life and my actions.
She also stood by his side as he was impeached after lying about his affair with a White House intern. Some today have said he should have stepped down. In retrospect, do you think Bill should have resigned in the wake of the Monica Lewinsky scandal?
Absolutely not.
It wasn't.
Absolutely not. Even though you didn't want Kavanaugh to become Supreme Court Justice, when there was no location, an allegation without even a location, almost 4 decades old, without any witnesses, without any evidence, he should step down. But you know what? He actually lied under oath. Bill Clinton got impeached, but he shouldn't have stepped down. Okay, that's not hypocrisy.
An abuse of power?
No.
There are people who look at the incidents of the 90s and they say a president of the United States cannot have a consensual relationship with an intern. The power imbalance is too
Who was
great.
an adult. But let me ask you this.
That's actually the only thing I agree with her. I have never agreed with Hillary Clinton really on anything. That's the only thing I agree with her on. She was an adult. Brian H.A., why is it legal for a senator in state X to accept money from states that are not state X? That is the way. I mean, you're talking about like Debbie Wasserman Schultz got what, like half her money or most of her money out of the state, or out of a good percentage out of the country, even in her district, something like that. A lot of these, the Clinton Foundation wouldn't exist if that wasn't the case. But I think that with political action committees, you can, I mean, nowadays with Citizens United, you can pool money from anywhere, and any political action committee can just, pump money into your contest, into your race with that, and that's fine. I think it's just because the Republican and national and Democratic parties exist nationwide, so there would have to be, I think, a law to prevent that. But Brian, thank you, Brian, But let's continue.
Where's the investigation of the current incumbent, against whom numerous allegations have been made, and which he dismisses, denies, and ridicules?
Well, there's no evidence of these allegations. Otherwise, they would have been in court right now. Look, I'm not saying they didn't happen, but anyone can say, oh, he touched me on my hip. That's a little different from what took place in the Oval Office. With evidence, with tape recordings, with everything. A little bit different, Madam Cyberhack. Kind of like the evidence that shows that you deliberately transferred top secret intelligence from SuperNet, JWIX, and SCIFs.
So there was an investigation, and it, as I believe, he didn't do that to the man. The
Kavanaugh hearing also turned attention back to...
So there you go. I mean, it is what it is. It's just blatant hypocrisy. Blatant hypocrisy. Then you have these billionaires like who want to impeach Trump. You're not going to impeach Trump. It's like I'm watching this commercial from Tom Steyer. He has this a picture with Putin. Like, Trump's actions are criminal. Where's the evidence of a crime? Okay. So this guy is like loaded with money. We must impeach. He has to know, he must be smart enough to know that this is not going to impeach Trump, but it's just throwing out the allegation. It's like, it's just they don't realize why and they will go ahead and lose. Then they're like, oh, well, Kanye was just there for a photo op. Well, what do you think Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have done, and every Democrat? They utilize race, gender, everything. The identity politics is, oh, look, vote for me because I am a woman. That's their whole thing is look at a characteristic or a part of my identity and actually base your vote because of that. So it's the height of hypocrisy. At least Kanye West was giving ideas, giving some philosophy, giving some wisdom. And Trump, there's like 10 to 20 hip hop references over the years to Trump. He was never this racist ogre. He suddenly became racist. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was interviewed, and he said something phenomenal. He said that, did you ever hear about Trump being racist prior? No. Did he do some things that, perhaps you can look back on and say, hey, they were wrong? Yeah. But did he call black youth super predators? No. That was Hillary Clinton. It was Hillary Clinton who was racist, not Trump. But suddenly he's this monster. Why? Because CNN, MSNBC, and the Democratic Party have stated that. You need to speak to a president. There's not one ethnic group in the country who doesn't want to speak to the president. I mean, you are hurting if you're a black citizen or a black pundit, I should say, and you tell either black celebrities or anyone who is black not to meet with the president, you're hurting the black community. You think Jewish people do that? I'm Jewish. Jewish people do not do that. They try to speak to the president. They try to speak to the mayor. Asian Americans, same thing. Latinos, same thing. It's every ethnic group that has political leaders within their ethnic group naturally wants to speak to people in power. It is only the black community that says, do not, I shouldn't say the black community, but I should say like pundits who say, if you're black, don't speak to Trump. Well, why? Jewish people do it. Latinos do it. Asian Americans do it. Everyone else, every other ethnic group does it. Every other ethnic group in the country wants to speak to Trump, actually lobbies and spends money to speak to Trump or people in power. Why would you not? John Wigan, populism, nationalism is surging all over the world. The recent election results in Sweden, Quebec, Brazil, Germany, and Italy are just the latest examples. John, I think that it's veteran anarchy. Stab and I wouldn't debate John James live. I know. That's why. And that's why she could probably very well lose. John, I think it's more to do with the failure of the left, because the left is so inept and hypocritical. Stephen Z, thank you. So, John, I think that it is part of the failure of the left. The Clintons Hillary will eventually be indicted. Every group, not just religious group or ethnic group or whatever, every group in the country wants to have their message heard by people in power, especially the president. To tell somebody of your background not to speak to the president is like criminal. You are preventing millions and millions of people from possibly benefiting. It's always a possibility. It's never, and it's like, if you think differently from the media, you're mentally insane. The left is, I'm on MSNBC here. And this is, I'm looking at a Charlemagne the God weighs in on Kanye West's White House visit. And a lot of the messages or the comments are not the typical MSNBC comments because they're like, well, what's the problem? He wanted to speak to the president. What lobbyists, what ethnic group, what demographic of Americans don't want to speak to the president? What leaders don't want to speak to the president? Why would anyone, black, white, Latino, anyone tell a black citizen not to speak to the president when every other group speaks to the president and lobbies and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to speak to people in power and the president? Why would you do that? You're actively hurting your own people. But the Democratic Party, Kanye West is an existential threat. Kanye West is an existential threat. The Yahtzee, I want to talk to the president. Where do I sign up? Well, you know, the Yahtzee. It's a in every country, in everywhere throughout history, you always want to speak to people in power. When you prevent people from speaking in power, it's like, you know, Foxy Vet. First, hello, A-Train mods. Did you guys hear Hillary's handlers? Another by the, you know, I didn't. Foxy Vet, I saw something like that on Twitter, but I didn't follow it up, so I don't know. I don't know much about it, but I didn't follow it up, but I saw something about that. But even me, sometimes, like, I don't follow up on everything just because, I mean, there's just so much criminal behavior. It's like, you know, the Yahtzee. Thank you, Foxy Vet. Thank you. The Yahtzee. Thank you as always. And the Yahtzee, you know, you have to be very powerful, you know, and it's just very difficult to speak to the president. That's why you don't want to dissuade or prevent people from speaking to the president. You're hurting, you know, especially like, what is he doing that's so, he's enabling racists. No, he's not. You think that the racists are suddenly like, oh, Trump this, you know, he's enabled us. There were always racists. There were always people who did racist things. You're never going to stop that. Look at Obama's 8 years. The amount of people of color who suffered during Obama's 8 years, and then suddenly it's, Trump enabled. That is a Democratic myth, along with Trump Russia. They don't have anything that could pin on Trump. They don't have anything he can pin on Trump. And it's like the Democratic Party thinks that it can control people, but that's the reason, one of the reasons they'll lose on November 6, 2018. They can't control people. Ray Chu! Remember Dennis Rodman? See my previous super chat. Dennis Rodman, that's right. That's right. Let's see. Feels good, man. Hurricane can't get me down. God bless you. Be safe. Hashtag indictments. Thank you, Feels good, man. Thank you. Be safe. Stephen Z, I don't know if I said thank you to you. Stephen Z, thank you. Ray Chu, yep. Dennis Rodman. He did a lot. I mean, Dennis Rodman actually went to North Korea. He did a lot. Ray Chu, thank you. Beyond the infinite, racism charges based upon one statement by Trump. And then right after that statement, he said there are good people that do come who are immigrants. And then they twisted his statements after Charlottesville to where it's like they literally almost fabricated a quote. Jace Faz, Trump has always been a quiet philanthropist. Go Trumpy, go. Yes. You know, it's there are people who just think he's the embodiment of racism, and there's no evidence other than, I mean, if that's the case, then what is Hillary Clinton calling black youth super predators? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Do you forget that? You forget Hillary Clinton calling black youth super predators. How is that not racist? He did not say that. Hillary Clinton did. But see, that's the thing. It's the Me Too movement too. Also. And then you have the great Jim Brown, who knows more about social justice and racism and all that stuff more than anybody on the left. And he was at the White House. But of course they can't bring that up, because if they do, then they'll lose that battle. Oh, wow. Thank you. Okay, hold on one second. Let me go ahead and oh, wow. Julian Assange to regain internet access at embassy. This is amazing news. Thank you. I have to go look and see who was awesome enough to let me know about this. Thank you. I just read your message. Hold on one second. This is great. Michael Perrin. Thank you, Michael. That is great news. That's amazing news. Wow. WikiLeaks has said Ecuador has agreed to end isolation regime imposed on its founder. Ecuador has partly restored Julian Assange's communication with the outside world from its London embassy, where the WikiLeaks founder has been living for over 6 years, according to reports. The Ecuadorian government suspended access in March because it said Assange had breached a written commitment to, On Sunday, the Press Association reported that Ecuador had partly restored Assange's access to the internet, mobile phones, and visits at the embassy, which had been restricted to his legal team. Wow, this is fantastic news. WikiLeaks said in a statement, Ecuador has told WikiLeaks publisher Julian Assange that it will remove the isolation regime imposed on him following meetings with 2 senior UN officials and Ecuador's president, Lenin Moreno, on Friday. Wow. Wow, this is fantastic. This is awesome. Rumi Kalas! Rumi! We will prevail. Red tsunami will approach the blue tidy guy. Down he goes. Rumi Kalas, thank you. Rumi Kalas, thank you. Rumi, thank you so very much as always, and be here. Thank you, Brian Daly, as well, everyone. Sandra, be here. Rumi, be here. November 6, 2018. Rumi, the Democratic Party, the media, they're not going to know how to react. They won't be able to blame Russia. That's already passé. That's already ridiculous. That's already ridiculous. Let's see here. Polls. Congressional. Rumi, let's see here. Oh, of course, 7.3 against. So dumb. Democrats up 11. How are Democrats up 11? From what? From a good economy? These polls are going to be completely irrelevant. And the thing, what's going to happen is they'll gain 15, 16 seats. They won't get Congress back. And then they'll say, like they did with the Electoral College, well, the polls were right. Well, there was more people. Well, the polls were right. Reach you, no one dares call. That's, of course, Jim Brown, yeah. Notice none of the press was Black, brown, or Asian. White people only. I said HRC is a gift that keeps on giving to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rachel, absolutely. Michael Avenatti, Hillary Clinton. You want, Stormy, you want Russia. I mean, all of these things are fantastic. Rumi, thank you as always. Rachel, thank you. I agree with you 100%. John Wigan, new CNN poll shows Dem voters prefer Biden than Bernie. Biden will get obliterated by Trump. Hilarious considering the lecture in America on the Patriot. Witnesses, yep. And the wealthy, yep. Both of their leading candidates are rich white males. Yep. Hypocrites. No, I agree. The biggest hypocrites. And they have to go back into the past. And it's like they have to go back into the past because they have no future. They have no future. And they have to simply say, well, Joe Biden wasn't a train wreck. We won't cheat Joe Biden. So, let's just, we won't cheat Joe. Joe, all you need is a shotgun. Have you seen tactical shotguns that you can purchase? Joe Biden. Yeah, ABC. Let's look at this ABC News poll. I just have to look at this poll. I have to look at this poll. Do you approve or disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling this job as president? 54% disapprove. Only 41% approve. How does that factor in? How does that factor into 435 contests? With Republicans in districts that have to remain Republican, they have to wrestle 23. More Americans disapprove of Kavanaugh's confirmation. Well, of course. All you see is mayhem and condemnation. If the media pumps something, more Americans are going to gravitate towards what the media says, but then there's going to be a heck of a lot who think for themselves. I just want to see. This is a random by telephone, by landline. How many? Okay. The Washington Post ABC News poll was conducted by telephone. Okay, so is it all landline? The telephone, I'm assuming, is all landline. Otherwise, they would say cell phone. among a random national sample. What a bunch of nonsense. Of 1,144 adults and 991 registered voters, with 65% reached. Okay, so 65% reached on cell phone and 35% on landline. Again, 35% on landline. Overall results in the sample of registered both have a margin of error of 3.5. No, how about a margin of error of the whole thing is nonsense? This is not statistically relevant. None of this is statistically relevant. These are surveys conducted by people who want to pump one narrative. Ray Chu drinks Sam Adams beer. They're boycotting. That's right. They're boycotted by the left. Ivanka 2024. Nice Jewish girl for president. Exactly. Ivanka is awesome. Ivanka is awesome. I just can't stand the idiocy on the left. I can't stand it. They come up with the dumbest rebuttals. They make the most grandiose declarations. And it's just, it's like they have to, the polls will be irrelevant for midterms, because even if Democrats are up by 6 or 7 by November 5th, they still have to win 23 seats. If they get 17, 18, it'll be a catastrophic loss. You will still have Republican control of the House. And you will still have more Republicans than Democrats. And if you had Joe Manchin voting for Kavanaugh, good luck getting all Democrats to vote for something. You're never going to get impeachment through the House. And then you'll add in the Senate. It'll never happen in the Senate. So Democrats will lose, and then they'll spin it as, oh, we got close. But I really don't think they'll get close. So I think these polls are absolute garbage. You have 35% on a landline. I would discount people who have time to spend on a poll. If you have time, if you're a Trump voter, you really don't want to get a poll from ABC or Washington Post, because you're like, whatever. They hate Trump. If you're an independent, you're not going to waste your time on a poll. So I just think that there has to be some kind of study that says people who answer landlines are far more liberal, or the majority of them are Democrats. I mean, they don't ask, are you a registered Democrat? I don't know how many Democrats are actually surveyed here. John Wigan, Rumi, Raichu, thank you. How many Democrats are surveyed? Are you absolutely certain you will vote? 76% certain. This is stupid. How many people have RSVP'd for? If you have a party, you're lucky if you get like 60 to 70% of the people who RSVP show up, or 80%. There's always going to be 20% who don't. I mean, this is not scientific. This is just not. That's why the polls were completely off. And then they say, well, they tightened before that. Well, then why did they even have this dumb marketing scheme to begin with? Well, they were this wide and then they tightened up. Don't you see? The polls make sense. No, they don't make sense. No, they don't. It was never this. The disparity never existed. It wasn't this wide of, oh my God, Democrats up. You did that because had you told the truth that, yeah, it's a pretty good economy, Democrats are probably going to lose. Democrats would be done. They've spent 2 years. Their credibility is already done, and they'll descend into the abyss of just. For people who know what's going on, Democrats and liberals are already buffoons. But if they lose, then it's confirmation. Like, wow, these people are really, really dumb, and they will lose. 35% landline. Why don't they do a study on the type of person that spends, you know how many questions there are? How many questions are there? There's what, 20 questions here. You're looking at 30, like 10, 15 minutes. Who has 53? Who has 15 to 20 minutes in a day? That's absurd. Who has 15 to 20 minutes in a day to take a poll? Liberals, Democrats, people who hate Trump. Then there's the Rasmussen reports, and it's a tie. So, I mean, how does that happen? You get one poll with a tie, one poll with up 12, 13. It's all ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts. Hit subscribe. Thank you so very much. Rumi and everyone. John Wigan, thank you. Ray Chu, thank you. Everyone, thank you. God bless. I will be back today. Absolutely. And thank you for everything, ladies and gentlemen. It's been so fun. It has been awesome. And be here November 6, 2018. Republicans will keep control of the House and keep control of the Senate. They'll add in the Senate. It's the same ballot, liberal pundits. So if they're going to gain in the Senate, how do you think 23 House seats are going to change? They're going to be like, I love the Senate, but the House is different. They don't think. House is going to remain Republican, and Republicans are going to gain in the Senate, and Democrats are going to absolutely lose. Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you. God bless.